The IDF attacked 1,300 Hezbollah targets in Lebanon on Monday, destroying dozens of rocket launchers and eliminating several terrorists. Among them was Ali Karaki, number 3 in Hezbollah and a commander of the terrorist organization's Southern Front. The Israeli government also confirmed that a special situation that amounts to martial law is necessary in the home front for the near future, with the possibility that it could be extended if needed. This is because Hezbollah is firing hundreds of rockets and missiles at Israeli cities, including Haifa. It also included Israeli communities in Samaria, as well as Palestinian villages. Let's dive into the details. I'm Yair Pinto, and this is your Boots on the Ground report about what is happening in Israel on the 354th day of the war against Hamas, Hezbollah, the Iranian head of the axis of evil, and all its terror proxies in Yemen, Iraq, and Syria. Before we start, please take a minute to find the subscribe button and click on it so that you will never miss another episode of Boots on the Ground, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. After sending thousands of messages to residents of southern Lebanon to evacuate areas where Hezbollah is storing weapons and revealing a cruise missile in a home, Israel revealed even more stockpiles of cruise missiles and other weapons stored in civilian areas further north in the country. The strikes on these targets began. IDF spokesman Daniel Hagari explained to the media that Israel had attacked terrorist targets of Hezbollah throughout Lebanon, and we are still attacking. He added details about the type of targets being hit, saying that they include cruise missiles that reach hundreds of kilometers, deadly rockets with a warhead of about 1,000 kilograms, medium-range rockets up to 200 kilometers, short-range rockets, UAVs, and weapons of the Shihad 107 type. These are strategic weapon capabilities. Hagari also presented a photo of a missile stored in a hydraulic system on the roof of a family's house in the south of Lebanon, saying that Hezbollah is hiding long-range rockets. This missile is designed to be launched from an opening in the roof. A Lebanese family lives under the attic, which serves as a human shield. This is Hezbollah's brutal method. He also showed documentation of an attack on a house in the village where weapons were stored. In the documentation of the attack, secondary explosions can be seen. He then went on to explain that this is further proof that Hezbollah has turned southern Lebanon into a combat zone. The IDF's action in the last day demonstrates a high and precise planning and execution capability that has led to many achievements. At the same time, it is important to say that we have challenging days ahead of us. We continue to be focused on defense in all the areas. Hagari concluded by asking the citizens of Israel to act responsibly. Throughout the day on Monday, the Air Force hit about 1,300 Hezbollah targets all over Lebanon, including a targeted attack in Beirut's Dahia neighborhood, 3 days after the assassination of Ibrahim Akil and the senior members of the Radwan force. Monday's target was Ali Karaki, the commander of Hezbollah's southern front and in fact number 3 in the organization. Initially, reports were published that he was eliminated, but later Hezbollah claimed he was only wounded. It is unclear at this time what his status is, but at the very least we can say that he is unlikely to be able to command his troops in the field at full capacity for the near future. Hezbollah has also been very busy launching hundreds of rockets into Israel, most of which were intercepted, but some of which destroyed homes and started several fires. Rockets and shrapnel also hit Nazareth, the childhood home of Jesus. Over 500,000 Israelis spent most of the day in bomb shelters, and in the evening, residents of Tel Aviv joined them as rockets were fired on Israel's commercial capital. Defense Minister Yoav Gallant issued a statement from the IDF's Operations Command in the evening, saying, "In the last day we are demolishing what has been built by Hezbollah for 20 years. Nasrallah remains alone at the top. Entire units of the Radwan force have had their equipment taken out and tens of thousands of rockets have been destroyed." I will recall that on Friday, along with Akil, several other senior officers in the Radwan force, a commando unit whose mission was to carry out October 7th style attacks on Israel and Israeli communities in the Galilee, were taken out by the Air Force. Meanwhile, without making a distinction between civilians and Hezbollah combatants, Lebanon's Ministry of Health announced that since Monday morning, 356 people have been killed in IDF attacks throughout the country and 1,246 have been injured. Here at TBN Israel, we will continue to keep you updated about the situation in Israel's north, but you can receive fresh updates in real time about what is happening in Israel through our website at tbnisrael.com/news, or look for us on all the social media platforms. Because of the escalating security situation in the north of the country, Defense Minister Yoav Gallant signed an order on Monday evening establishing a special situation in the entire country for the next week. This special situation gives broad powers to the IDF and the Home Front Command and had already been in effect for the residents of Haifa and northward, but has now been established for the entire country. The declaration of a special situation on the home front authorizes the Chief of Staff, the Deputy Chief of Staff, the head of the division in the General Staff, the commanders of the Home Front Command to give the public instructions. This could include various instructions to shelter in place, enter safe rooms, close schools and businesses, and other things that might be necessary to ensure public safety. Things are rough on Israel's home front right now, but it can get much worse on Lebanon's home front. Reports out of Lebanon indicate a severe sense of fear and helplessness among the residents who are caught in the crossfire between Hezbollah and Israel. Many ordinary people believe that there is a serious prospect of a large-scale conflict in the coming days, which will be even more disruptive than what already occurred. On Voice of Lebanon radio broadcasts, citizens are advised to stay away from secret sites where Hezbollah stores ammunition, including private homes, since they will be attacked. In the suburbs of Beirut, which are strongholds of Hezbollah, there is reported to be a huge sense of dread and many residents are trying to flee. The Israeli attacks on the Radwan Force leadership meeting in the Chia neighborhood of southern Beirut last Friday put everyone on notice that this area is filled with targets that the Israeli Air Force will soon be hitting. Scenes of roads leading out of these neighborhoods filled with cars and even pedestrian traffic soon began appearing on social media networks. It is worth mentioning that there was no such exodus from this area last week following the pager and walkie-talkie attacks on Hezbollah operatives. Guys, please continue to spread the truth, share our videos on YouTube, and follow us on social media. If you haven't already, please take a minute to click the subscribe button so that you will never miss an episode of Boots on the Ground. Now, before we continue with today's report, I'd like to take a moment and tell you about our sponsor for today's video, Divine Health. I'd like to share an important component of Dr. Colbert's comprehensive Keto Zone program, the ultimate Brain Zone package from Divine Health. The scientifically formulated package includes Brain Zone capsules for enhanced cognitive function. Since incorporating this into my routine, I've experienced noticeable improvements in mental clarity. It's remarkable how proper nutrition can support your brain function. So guys, if you're interested in optimizing your cognitive health as part of a holistic wellness approach, visit tbnisrael.drcolbert.com or call 888-826-1939. Remember, this is one part of the broader Keto Zone program designed to nourish the minds God had blessed us with. Now back to the news, and we will switch our focus to events in the Gaza Strip. The IDF spokesman announced that Sunday night, the Air Force attacked in a targeted manner and under the intelligence guidance of Amman and the Southern Command, terrorists of Hamas who are operating in a command and control complex in the area that was previously used as a Khaled bin al-Walid school in the center of the Gaza Strip. The command and control complex was used by Hamas terrorists to plan and carry out terrorist operations against the IDF forces and against the State of Israel. Before the attack, many steps were taken to reduce the chance of harming civilians, including the use of precision weaponry, aerial contracts, and additional intelligence information. The terrorist organization Hamas systematically violates international law, brutally exploiting civilian institutions and the population as human shields for terrorist activities. The IDF will continue to act with strength and determination against a terrorist organization. Switching our focus once again to the situation in Judea and Samaria. Broad security sweeps continue. Dozens of suspected terrorists have been arrested and weapons and other contraband were being confiscated. Over the last 24 hours, a wanted person was arrested in Anta, in the Binyamin Brigade, under the direction of the Shin Bet, and about 100,000 Israeli shekels of terrorist money was confiscated. In activities in the area of the Beka and Emakim division, the security forces arrested a wanted person and interrogated many suspects. In the region of the Etzion Brigade, materials intended for the preparation of explosives were confiscated. In Bethlehem, Koa, and Ezaria, 6 wanted persons were arrested and weapons parts, cartridges, and ammunition were confiscated. Once again, I will ask you to keep spreading the truth by sharing our videos on YouTube and following us on social media. Take a minute to press the subscribe button, or more than that, please support us so we can create more videos like this one by clicking the donate button on YouTube or by going to our website at www.tbnisrael.com/give. To conclude today's report, we bring you a story from Israel's main antagonist in this region, the Islamic Republic of Iran. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian arrived in New York on Monday for the UN General Assembly meeting, speaking briefly with reporters and telling them, among other things, that there is a danger of an escalation in the situation between Israel and Hezbollah. He warned against a further escalation, saying its consequences will be irreversible, and solemnly declared that Hezbollah is a group which deserves support as it defends its right. When asked if Iran would intervene in the conflict between Hezbollah and Israel, he said, "We will protect any group that defends its right and itself." Regarding the elimination of the Hamas political bureau chief Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran back in July, Pezeshkian said that Israel carried out the move with the aim of dragging Iran into a regional war, but we exerted maximum restraint. We will respond at the appropriate time and place in an appropriate manner. To make a personal comment on all of this, as a friend of mine likes to say, talk is cheap, especially in the Middle East. The Iranian leadership loves to make dark threats and fiery speeches, and this habit is copied by their evil henchmen in Hezbollah and elsewhere. I have lived my whole life in Israel in the shadow of their rhetoric and threats, and I believe I can speak for all Israelis, Jews, Arabs, and others when I say that we are not afraid of you. We are not intimidated, and we're not going anywhere. Also, as a human being, I feel tremendous sorrow when I see the videos coming out of Lebanon of civilians fleeing their homes because Hezbollah used those homes to store weapons that the IDF needs to destroy. I also feel sorrow for the suffering of the citizens in Gaza, Judea and Samaria, and also Iran. I hope that when this war is over, a new administration will arise in all these places which will take care of their own people and stop spending all their time, money, and energy in a pointless quest to destroy my country, Israel. So guys, here at TBN Israel, we will continue to update you on what is happening in Israel, in the Jewish state, but please continue to spread the truth, share, and follow us, and most importantly, pray. Pray for the peace of the IDF soldiers, pray for the peace of the hostages and their quick return back home. Pray for the peace of the people of Israel and all the civilians that are affected by these terrorist groups in this region. And most importantly, unite in prayer for the peace of Jerusalem, because God will win this war, because He's in control.
Hello, this is Mati here in Jerusalem with TBN Israel.
This is Yair Pinto from TBN Israel here in Jerusalem. TBN Israel is keeping viewers informed with Israel-focused news, culture, and what God is doing in this land.
Support TBN Israel today online at tbn.org/Israel. Thank you.